What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to be going over how to write killer Facebook ads. And before I even jump into this, I want to let you guys know this is going to be one of the most valuable videos in this course. And at the end, I'm also going to be, well, actually down below, you'll have access to some ad templates that I'm going to go over in this video. So with that said, let's jump right into it. I'm really excited to share this one with you guys. To be completely honest, this kind of stuff, I could make a whole course over this on its own. So I'm really excited to share this with you. So with that said, what is copywriting? And the reason I'm going over this is in case you guys don't know already. I may mention this word a couple times. Basically, copywriting is the act of writing text for the purpose of advertising or other forms of marketing. So basically, it is persuasive writing. So let's go over this first. What are some of the main components of an ad when you're going to be writing them? Obviously, you're going to have the caption here, but what are the main points? Well, the first one is the hook, where you're going to grab people's attention. So as you can see here, the hook in this specific ad is, "Hey, Olathe homeowners, are you looking to sell your home but not sure how you can get the quickest bang for your buck?" The hook is important in the fact that you need to grab their attention. You need to think about somebody scrolling down Facebook, what's going to capture their attention? And one of the key things here that I always typically mention is the city name, or specifically like who you're targeting. Because if they see this, they're going to instantly think, hey, I need to read this. This must apply to me. This must be important. Then the next thing we have is pain points. Now, you don't have to always have pain points in an ad, but this is something I often have. I know many of you struggle with having the time and capital to do large home improvement projects. And basically, as you can see, this is a free seller's guide for a real estate agent. Basically, the reason we're pointing out pain points is to give people that are possibly homeowners something to relate to. And this is something that they're going to relate to, and you really need to, and this is the thing that you need to remember throughout copywriting, is put yourself in the shoes of the customer. Even ask customers if you need to. Always get feedback on your copywriting if you need to. So basically, the next thing I go into is the solution, and there's more components than this, but these are the main ones that we're going to be using. Then we get into the solution, number 3. So this week I put together 7 tips so that you can use to basically fix this problem. And then number 4 is the offer, and that's the same offer, the same thing right there. And then lastly, we have the call to action. So that is, click the download button below to get your free PDF emailed to you today. They press the download button below. And this is basically a story here to make them relate more and just get more familiar with this real estate agent. This isn't 100% necessary, but the reason this is in there is to basically build a relationship and tell people why they created this guide in the first place, because sometimes that is a helpful thing, which I'll talk about in a sec. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the goals of your writing, because you need to remember the goals of what you're writing when you're writing a Facebook ad, or you're never going to get to where you're trying to be. So the first of which is to get your target customer to take action. So to do that, like I said, put yourself in the shoes of the customer. Get in their mind, think about what's going to cause them to take action. If the offer is not good enough, then the offer is going to be your problem. You guys can get the idea there, but the thing that's going to make the difference on any ad, the more than the most, is the offer, the headline, and we'll talk about that here more in a second. You'll be able to see my other offers, headlines, etc. So the next thing is having people read all the way through, because you actually have to, a lot of times you're going to have to get people to read through to actually get them to take action. So the first thing obviously is hooking people at the start. The next thing is evoking emotion or telling a story. So it's even better if it relates to the person you're targeting, because if you tell a relatable story, they're going to read all the way through and just be agreeing through it throughout. And then if you can get them to keep agreeing constantly, at the end, they're finally going to come to the conclusion that, yes, I want this offer, whatever this offer this person is offering me. If you're going to get them in the mood of saying yes. Making it easy to read, that's a big thing too. And you'll notice that also, like one sentence is also becoming the new paragraph. It just makes it easier to read. That's the way of today. And simple to understand. This is an extremely important one. I basically say when you're writing this, you need to make it simple enough that a 5th grader can understand this, because even though you're probably writing for mostly adults, a 5th grader needs to be able to understand it, because I mean, let's face it, people aren't, I shouldn't say this, but people aren't as smart as you think always, but at the same time they are. But the main reason we want to do this is because if you make it really easy to understand, there's not going to be any confusion, because when you make things harder to understand, just confusion comes into play and people are just going to leave. They're going to get distracted by other things that are more easy to understand. So the main thing in here is making it easy to understand so that people read all the way through. You've probably experienced it before. You start reading something and then it just gets super confusing and then you just give up because you don't understand what even the point is. So if you make it really easy to understand, they're way more likely to stick with it. And so with that said, before I show you guys some real ads examples, I'm gonna show you tell you about some of the most common mistakes I see with people's ads. And the first one is grammar mistakes. Now there's nothing really here I can personally do to help you with grammar mistakes. This just comes down to basic English, and I think the best way to do this is have somebody if you're not very good at, like, if you have grammar problems and stuff like that, it's probably best if you go get someone to review your ads after you make them to fix grammars. I'm sure you all probably know somebody that's good at English, so have somebody that is able to do that, review your ad copy. And honestly, I often have people review my ad copy even though there's no grammar mistakes, just to get better and better every time, see what suggestions they have, see what they didn't understand clearly. The second most common thing I see is not clear and quickly understandable. Both of these things. So they need to be quickly understandable. This comes into play with the fifth grader thing. Quickly understandable is key because people's attention spans today are so short. You need to make it so easily understandable that a fifth grader can understand it. Overly wordy and not easy to read. So this kind of comes, it's quick, it's fast. You want to make it the least amount of words as possible, because if people see a huge paragraph, they're not going to want to read all the way through it because they're like, I don't have the time for this. So you want to condense that down as much as possible. And by reducing your words, that also makes it easier to understand a lot of times. And not easy to read, just like I was saying, if you have everything in one big paragraph, that's not easy to read. Whereas if you have things separated by like one line, sometimes that's easier to read because there's more space. You feel your mind just is more clear and there's not so many things confusing you and just kind of taking your attention all over the place. So the next thing I want to go over here is some mini tips, and then we're going to jump into some more advanced tips. So the first one of this is use emojis. The reason for this is when you're scrolling down the Facebook feed, it just grabs people's attention. Now, if you're working with a super professional client that's like business to business, you might not use as many emojis. You can still use like conservative ones, but use things that pop out in the newsfeed that just grabs people's attention. Yes, this has been tested. And then once again, space out your writing. I already went over that. And keep your call to action above the fold. Let me show you guys what I mean by that right here real quick. Keep your call to actions above the fold. When you're writing your Facebook ads, you're going to see the see more button. So basically, when this pops up, you want to make sure your call to action is above the see more button, or else they're going to have to click, which a lot of people won't do, and they're not going to see the rest of your ad. They're not going to see the call to action. So if you can keep the call to action above that button that I just pressed, that'll be the best. And the way you have to do that is basically review your ads before you actually publish them. And the way you do that is basically by previewing your ad before you do it. So I'll show you guys that real quick. So basically, to preview your ad, all you do is you press this little button. You can do share a link or any of the other options here. That's how you kind of look at your ad. Pull it up on your phone, because your phone will actually look different than it does on the newsfeed, and your phone is the most important. So like, send a notification to your phone. This isn't an option on this one, but you can send the link because this is an Instagram story. But that's how you do it. That's how then you can review it, see if your text is actually above that see more button, and if it is, you're good. So let's come back into the PowerPoint now. So next I'm going to go over my top tactics, and this is something you won't find very many other places, and I really love the slide that I put together for you guys. So the first one of which, and I'm going to show you guys all of these in action in the next ads that I'm going to show you that I did for a client, a series of ads that I did for a client. So the first of this is scarcity, your top persuasion tactics. Scarcity, so for example, only X spots left, today only. This is basically getting people to take action now because it's not going to be available tomorrow. The next thing is asking agreeable yes questions, obvious yes questions, getting people agree, getting people feeling relatable. And if you keep getting people to say yes, they're more likely to say yes on the offer as well. Answering possible objections before they even have the objections. This is a really good one because people are always going to have objections as to why they might not take the offer. Oh, I'm scared they're just going to use my phone number information for bad, whatever it is. Answering objections beforehand can sometimes, a lot of times, alleviate the fact that and make them feel more comfortable with actually putting their information in. So the next thing is, people don't talk about this enough, I don't think, is logical reasoning, and this kind of goes with the objections as well. I'll show you guys more real life examples of these in a second. And then last, and this is a very key one that I see not very many people talk about, sexy wording, making your offers sound sexy as possible. And what I mean by that is making your offers sound as best as they possibly can. Perceived value, giving your offers more perceived value. So for example, your offer could be a free consultation versus a see if you qualify for a new customer program. Now think about which one you would be more likely to do. Like free consultation, guys, let me tell you right now, never say the word consultation in your ad copy. It is terrible and it's not going to work. If you guys do a consultation as an offer, it's never going to work. I can guarantee you that. Make the word consultation sound sexy by being more specific or just working a different way. Even strategy session is a little bit better than consultation, but strategy session is still not may not be the best, but it's definitely better than consultation. So making sure you're using wording that sounds sexy. So let's jump into this real quick to show you guys some examples. And I'm showing you this because this is a niche that nobody's really going to have, and it's going to give you some examples. Like I said, you guys can also check out the templates below this video and look over those as well. So this is some examples from a company which basically sells seeds to farmers. The farmers get their seed supply for the year from them, either corn or soybeans. So this is the company that I was working with to generate farmer leads. And I wanted to show you guys this one because this has got to be one of the hardest things you could possibly sell, getting a farmer to put in their information on a Facebook ad. Like, what do you think niche could be harder than that? That's why I wanted to show you guys this and show you that as the ad copy strategy used in this. So as you can see here, these are the emoji strategies used. And then this is the agreeable strategy I just talked about. How helpful would it be for you to know the 4 top performing soybean varieties in your area? Now, this isn't the best call to action because your local DSM will reach out to you with a personalized lineup. Still pretty good, but it could be a little bit better. They just didn't want to hide the fact that you can actually hide the salesman part of this as well and do like a downloadable guide and then have them call up to walk them through the downloadable guide. That's another trick you can do as well. So this is one of the things that I was talking about as well. Answering objections. Our reputation and family names on every bag, and we want to earn your business. This is answering the objection of farmers that they may have, like, oh, this is just another company. They're just going to mess with my information, just going to keep spamming me with stuff. This is exactly answering that objection right there before they may even have it. So this is another answering objection. No, this is not a sales pitch. I'm not going to read all the way through these. You guys can take a look and read through them if you'd like, but I'm not going to read all the way through these to save you as much time as possible. No, this is not a sales miss, and it's purely to build our relationship. Now, this is kind of the same thing here. You guys can read it. Call to action. Same kind of deal here. How helpful would it be, etc. So we'll go jump to the next ad. Oh yeah, the most important thing is the headline. That's going to be the biggest difference maker. And we have a video as well. So video is important, and all of these copywriting things I'm talking about, they also apply to video as well. So something important to remember. So next thing here we have, hey Kansas soybean farmers, hook right there. Are you looking to increase your profitability here? It's kind of the same thing as the real estate one, so we'll go over that. So little as one day. This is kind of a thing. This is kind of a tactic that I didn't talk about yet. Is so getting access today, instant access. That's a good one, and giving people short-term things often works really good for some. Well, we all know why it works, because people are looking for shortcuts. When you give shortcuts, people are a lot more likely to take them. That's a little thing here. People are just looking for fast solutions all the time. To be honest with you, if you kind of use clickbait guides like this can work for niches that are typically hard, kind of clickbait stuff. Have you figured out what you're doing for seed financing this year? This is the question. Then we're offering the new customer program, potentially make an extra $3,500 this year. If you'd like to, so this is the scarcity tactic. With only about a month before the next season, we're only allowing only 10 more soybean farmers to join this year's special customer program, so we can be sure we have enough time to personally create. So this is, I'm giving them this is the thing. This is what separates me from a lot of copywriters, I believe. So most people would say with only a month before the next season, we're only allowing 10 more soybean farmers to join this year's special customer program. But I think where a lot of people fall short is by adding some logical reasoning that I talked about as to why we only have 10 spots left, because people are always saying, oh, there's only 10 spots left. And half the time you guys probably already know it's BS. It's just stuff that they're making up. But when you actually give people a reason, whether it's true or not, they're a lot more likely to believe you and believe that scarcity, so we can be sure we have enough time to personally create the highest yielding strategy for each farmer. That's a really good tip that I have for you guys. So kind of the same deal. There's another. So let us work with you to find the top performing hybrids. And we're relating to the customer here because this is all wording that would appeal to the client. And I didn't know wording that would appeal to farmers, so I had to discuss with the owner and know the right questions to ask to do this. So let's jump right back into the templates, and I'll just guys give you guys an intro to that. The little templates we have that I put up together for you. So here are the templates right here. We got the basic one. This is just super simple. And basically here we have the layout, and then I have an example of each underneath so you guys can get a complete idea. Got the basic with the testimonial, pain points, and these can really be used for any niche, to be honest with you guys. I just gave you examples from all different niches so you guys could use these templates. And I pretty much use these same templates, these same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 templates. I pretty much use all of these 5 on almost all of my ads. It is ridiculous. If I had to choose one that's the most popular for me, probably this basic extended one. I pretty much almost always use this ad copy unless I'm doing something for local businesses. This is the ad copy that I typically use. If I'm doing something else like an online course, I'm going to do different ad copy. But that's pretty much it. And this is, keep in mind, this is not, your ads are not limited to these templates. Okay, guys, you can write your ads however you like. Be creative. That's the main thing. Be original, because if you're original, don't just copy anyone. Be original, because your ads, that's how you become better than anyone else in the market. You become original. Maybe you have this thing to you where your writing is really funny. Make it like that. Make your writing funny, because people like that. If whatever your skill set is, accentuate that in your writing and just take pride in what you write, and don't just copy everything. Be unique and be your own person. That's all I have to say, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next one.